Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Next Team podcast, Formula One. And I'm your host Arun. Joining me, as usual, we have Yash and BK.
Hi guys.
And and we are coming to you about almost 1 week after the Hungarian GP. Normally we try to upload a bit earlier, but we were a bit busy here and there, and we managed to find time now. And it's not an issue because we are heading into the summer break for now, so it's not much that's going to change in this time. So, without much further ado, we can jump into the episode. But before we do that, make sure you do follow us on Instagram at the Next Team SG, and do also check us out on Spotify. We are there as the Next Team Podcast. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe to us. We're also here as the Next Team Podcast.
We are also on TikTok.
Oh yes, yes, we are also on TikTok. BK?
At the Next Team SG, so you can follow us there also if you are addicted to TikTok. We only put out quality content on TikTok, trust me. So
Of course.
go and follow.
BK is our TikTok connoisseur, and he's a man of quality content. So please do follow us there as well. So stepping into the race weekend itself, as usual, I think Friday not much to talk about.
Yeah.
Saturday, well, we saw some.
Okay, before we just move forward, I just wanted to say one thing about Friday, is that it became boring again from what happened at Silverstone.
Right.
It kind of like, we had the sprint race and stuff.
Yeah.
It kind of just took away the excitement. Like, I was so excited for Friday on Silverstone, and now it's just like, whatever. Let's just wait for Saturday.
Yep. Even my younger brother, actually, he watches the races with me, but he's not really that into Formula One. Like, he's not that knowledgeable. So we were watching Silverstone, and I told him how they changed up the qualifying system, and he actually enjoyed it so much. And after the 2 weeks, last Friday, actually, he was asking me, he said, "Oh, the Hungarian GP isn't today the qualifying?" And then I was like, "Oh no." And then he said he actually prefers the newer system to the current system. So I mean, if I remember, we discussed the reasons they implemented this change. If what we speculated is correct, which is to bring in more casual fans, if my brother is an example, it's working. So kudos to the FIA for that. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing I really missed, because it kind of like, I don't know, I was quite happy with Silverstone the way it went.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has their own opinions about this whole format, but honestly, it got me excited for Friday for once. And honestly, it delivered. Silverstone kind of delivered with the Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It did.
Yeah. So to come that to Hungary was a bit of a shame, but we shall see what happens. We still have 2 more races, I believe, with that format.
Yeah. What is the next race with that format? Does anyone know?
Monza.
After Spa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So continuing on with Saturday, of course, we saw some big scenes in the third qualifying. For the very last outlap that they all went on, that was, of course, Lewis holding up the 2 Red Bulls.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I have to state at this point that was Lewis's fastest outlap of the whole of all the 3 sessions.
I saw that coming.
Yeah, I mean, I had to say it, but I don't know. It was fair, if you ask me.
Yeah.
It was racing, and shit happens.
To be fair, I don't really think anyone should be moaning about that. I understand a lot of people a lot of Max fans are angry about what happened during Silverstone, but their weekend is over, their race is over, and what Lewis did during the outlap last weekend was is by the book. It's in the rules. He can do it if he wants to. I don't really think anyone should be giving him any like they shouldn't be giving him too much criticism. That's what I feel. And Tarun is just frozen, so I have no idea what's happening. Hey Tarun, are you here now, bro? This is another card over here. I think he just disconnected. It's not us, right?
Yeah. It's not us.
I was saying how this is a different weekend compared to Silverstone, and people shouldn't be
Yes, okay.
hating on
You
Lewis
can
just
you can
because.
resume from there.
Yeah, like just because he actually followed the rules. I mean, it's racing. You can do that. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Max has done that. I'm pretty sure every leading driver has done that at some point. So I don't really think it's that big of a talking point, to be honest. I don't know why a lot of people are blowing it out of proportion, but yeah.
My only criticism with that is I feel it's a bit unsportsmanship like.
No, but it happens. Like that's the thing.
No, I get that. I get that. I mean, you see, I don't have any problem with what happened. It's because, he didn't break any rules per se.
Yeah.
But I felt it was a bit unsportsman-like behavior from Lewis. Because, okay, maybe Max could have overtaken him. I don't know why he did not. I guess he just wanted that track position. But then, yeah, I don't know. I just felt it was because he was actually slowing down quite considerably. And yeah, you could say in context that was actually his fastest outlap, but that could also be because in the end Peter Bonington just told him he got to hurry up, otherwise he's going to miss his own checkered flag.
Yeah.
He might not get his own lap in. So I don't know. I just feel it was unprofessional from him to do that, and because of that, it resulted Checo in not getting a lap.
Yeah.
And honestly, Checo is quite lucky that with the first lap he did, he still managed to be in P4 without the second lap. Otherwise, someone could have easily gotten his P4 instead.
Yeah.
So, if let's say Checo had fallen back, I would definitely have expected Red Bull to I don't know, lodge some investigation or some shit into it again.
Yeah.
Considering what happened, just before the race about the whole Max incident as well, where they lodged him.
Yash, I love the point that you're making, but yeah, okay, he's back. Tarun's back.
Yeah, I'm back.
He froze up again. Okay, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean that's all I was saying, lah. I mean, if Checo had finished P4, not P4, like outside of P4, someone have gotten that place back because he didn't get his second lap in. I'm pretty sure Red Bull have lodged some kind of investigation into that shit and came up with, I don't know, whatever they did. Maybe made Alex Albon go through another lap.
Yeah.
I'm hungry with, I don't know. But jokes aside, yeah, I just felt it was unprofessional, lah. But I have no issues with it because it's in the rule book and you can't really stop anyone from not doing that. And BK said, someone else could have done it before as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that sort of sums up qualifying. And well, moving on to Sunday. Whew, what a chaotic day of racing.
Absolutely.
I think the natural place to start here is lap 1, of course. So either of you want to take us through lap 1?
Yeah, I mean, and just
that start, first corner.
And just like every lap, you have to start at turn 1.
Yep.
Bottas, I mean, it's very clearly his fault. I mean, my opinion on the matter is very, very clearly his fault. Once again, there's a lot of tinfoil hat stuff saying maybe Bottas crashed on purpose. It took out, both the Red Bulls and one of the McLarens, and somehow Lewis comes off unscathed. I mean, come on. I don't know who these people are who think that you can pull off a rear end crash at 150 kph and think that Mercedes can somehow dictate the outcomes of that crash is beyond ridiculous. But the crash itself, very clearly Bottas' fault. I mean, he had a terrible start. Norris overtakes him around the outside or inside, and for some reason I don't know why, when I was looking at the onboard footage, you can very clearly see Lando's brake lights. Not just Lando's brake lights, everyone was braking. It's dripping wet, everyone was braking. I have no idea why Valtteri didn't go near his brakes. I think he was looking at his screen, and I think the turn 1 just hit him a bit sooner. I just think that he didn't see it. I don't think he did it on purpose or anything. But the resulting outcome of that is
complete chaos.
Yeah, it's absolute chaos. Lando out of the race. Perez got out of the race because of that.
Max had half a car left.
Yeah, Max had half a car left, which we'll talk more about that later. Who else? I mean, I can't even keep track.
Ricardo had a spin. He had to go out of that. Then Stroll caused Charles to go out of the race.
That's a separate. No, but
That's
Separate
the other
incident.
incident.
yeah, that's the
Yeah.
other incident, which is completely. That was also crazy by Stroll. I have no idea. I have no idea where he was.
I
taking
think
the
I
car.
know what Stroll was trying to do, because Stroll realized immediately that he was taking too much speed into it, and he would have gone exactly like how Bottas rear-ended.
Yeah.
So what Stroll thought would have been a great idea was just cut the chicane,
Yeah.
so that it would cut off the speed, and then he might be able to rejoin lah. But because the grass is also wet, he
Yeah.
just skid on the grass and went into
Yeah.
Charles lah.
Yeah, he
It's quite
T-boned the
unfortunate.
Ferrari.
Yeah.
Which-
Like Charles immediately tweeted, during the red flag, he immediately tweeted it was a nice bowling game out there. And I don't know if you guys saw the memes, like on Formula Dank and everything, they had like all those bowling memes going out, and
Yeah,
it seems
I
like
saw.
Tarun froze again.
Yeah. Tarun, come on. Dude, I tell you, we are. Oh my god. Dude, the state of this recording, it makes the Hungarian GP look like an orchestra, dude. This is absolute chaos. Okay, so Tarun, where do you lose Yash?
Where did I lose Yash? Oh, okay, that's a good question. He was talking about Stroll going on the grass. Yeah.
Yeah, he was going on the
Okay.
grass, and then the grass is also slippery, so he ended up T-boning the Ferrari. And then there were a lot of memes about it on Reddit. That's
Yeah.
what
So I was just saying that there's lots of memes about everyone, like Charles tweeted right after the race, not even
Oh,
after the
yeah,
race,
he
like
did.
during the red flag, he did that. It's a very nice game of bowling.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's so many like Formula Dank memes on all the bowling memes,
Yeah.
which you can find. It's pretty entertaining.
Right.
Yeah.
And
But I think all of this, the main cause of it is honestly is Bottas.
yeah.
I mean, he messed up, he locked his brakes, he ruined Lando's amazing start. I mean, Lando could have been P3, man,
Yeah.
going to turn 1.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
yeah, and it's also Lando's first DNF in I think 15 races or something.
15
Yeah.
races.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very long.
Is he now the? He used to be the only driver who didn't have a DNF, right? So
Yeah,
now
yeah.
every driver has had at least one DNF.
Mm,
Has
Not
Hamilton
at
had
least one.
like-
I don't think Hamilton has had a DNF. No.
Like this year, you mean?
Yeah, this season.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
Even Baku
no, Hamilton
was
didn't have a
not a
DNF. He
DNF.
finished
Okay,
outside
okay.
the points, but yeah,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
a DNF.
Not a DNF. Yeah.
Right. So no, I know Norris was the only driver to do something. Is it get points every
Yeah,
race?
Norris was the only
get
driver
points
to
every
always
race
be in
so
points every
Right.
race.
So yeah, so that run has come to an end.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an honest mistake by Bottas, but honestly, a driver of his caliber should be doing better. If it
Shouldn't be making those mistakes.
Yeah.
I don't know why I couldn't remember who, but on the Sky broadcast which I was watching, right, someone said that, like all these drivers, they're driving on the wet for the first time, they don't have the braking reference and stuff, and he was trying to kind of justify Bottas' mistake.
Yeah.
But honestly, in my opinion, right, these are the 20 best drivers in the grid,
Yeah.
apart from Mazepin, 40, in the entire world.
Yeah.
So, you should be able to just, I don't know, man, like, know your points, like,
I mean,
or at least be cautious going to turn 1.
yeah. I mean, all other global racing drivers aside, even within the Formula One drivers, the 20 drivers, all 20 of them didn't have time to set their eye in for a wet track.
Yeah.
And before even Bottas hit the brakes, 5 other drivers in front of him had already braked at the correct spot. So that excuse doesn't fly for me. I feel there's nothing wrong with making a mistake. You can just say it's a mistake and move on. I don't think anyone
Yeah.
needs to justify anything.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't know how. I actually didn't really see any Bottas interviews or whatever. I don't know if he owned up to his mistake or
Oh,
what is
do you
it.
guys
He
see
did, he did.
this? There's this interview. Lando was on interview, right?
Yeah,
And
I
then
saw that.
and then like Bottas just like he was saying, oh, it's clearly Bottas, but Bottas was right beside him.
Yeah.
When Lando said that, it's so funny.
Well, actually, Bottas was coming to talk to him. He
Yeah.
pat him on the shoulder and then
Yeah,
shook his
he was.
hand. Yeah, that's
And that's when Lando says like Bottas' fault to the media. It's so funny.
yeah, it's one of the worst positions to be in, honestly.
Yeah,
Awkward. But
exactly.
apart from that, I think apart from Leclerc and Stroll, all the other DNFs were probably Bottas.
Bottas rated.
Except for Mazepin and Raikkonen in the pits also.
And Mazepin was unlucky, to be honest.
Yeah, Raikkonen pulled
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
too early. And do you guys want to talk about that incident now? Mazepin and
Yeah,
Raikkonen
sure.
one?
I mean,
Okay.
I think we're pretty much done with the lap one
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Very cut and dry. Whose fault it is, but
Well, it's quite funny though, right? When at the end of the second formation lap, how everyone came in and Lewis was the
yeah,
only
Lewis was
driver
the
on the
only.
grid.
I have no idea why.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea why Mercedes didn't pit him. By the way, I'm
Yeah.
very confused.
I think they weren't expecting the other drivers to come in, or rather they
No,
were
what they said, if
hoping
I
that the others won't come in.
yeah, no, what they said, right, is like they said that it's better strategy to stay out because Mercedes being the first pit garage, right?
Yeah,
If Lewis comes in first, he has to wait for the entire train
yeah,
to go past him, and then only they can release him. Otherwise, it's an unsafe release, and they're going to get penalty and stuff.
right.
Or what happened to Mazepin-Raikonnen
Yeah,
could happen there as well. So I think that's why Mercedes didn't pit him.
right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. One last thing about the turn one incident. Ocon was actually very, very lucky to come out unscathed, because there was carnage all around him.
Yeah.
And another one was Gasly. He locked up and he carried on straight, and due to that reason he didn't get caught in the wreckage.
mess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's actually quite funny to see. But yeah,
Seb had a very poor start, and Stroll got ahead of him. And then
yeah.
Seb just took it cautious, and basically Stroll took Leclerc out first, Seb, to
Yeah.
go through. Yeah.
Seb
very funny.
could have just crashed out at that point. Like,
Yeah.
because I mean, if to get disqualified later in such a, like, it's very heartbreaking for Seb, I feel, because he really tried to win the race. So we will get to that later. Let's talk about the Mazepin and Raikkonen incident first.
But I think we should talk about Tarun's freeze again.
Oh, no. Okay, so where do you freeze, Tarun? Like, what was I saying?
I froze it was heartbreaking for Seb.
Oh my. Okay. It was heartbreaking for Seb to be disqualified for such a silly reason. But yeah. Anyway, let's just move on to the Mazepin and Raikkonen incident now.
Yeah, going back to that.
Yeah. So Mazepin was pulling into the pits for his pit stop. Not pulling into the pits. He was on the pit lane, and Raikkonen came out from the side, and his front right suspension broke, I think. And Raikkonen got hit with a 10-second penalty, I think. Was it stop and go 10 second or 5
Yeah, I
seconds?
think it was a stop and go.
Stop go if I'm
Oh,
not
it's
wrong.
just stop go.
No, like
no, I think
10
so.
second stop and go.
10 second stop go,
10-second
yeah.
stop and go.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, the reason for that, I don't really blame Raikkonen. I just think
Yeah, I mean, it's the team's fault, not really Raikkonen's fault.
The light, I saw the onboard footage. Kimi's pit light, after they dropped the car back, after replacing the wheels, it came green, and every Formula 1 driver is flooring the throttle at that point. So
Yeah.
it became green, and then once the car starts moving, it goes back to red because Mazepin is coming in. So the whole thing is just poorly timed, very unlucky for Mazepin and for Alfa Romeo also. But yeah, that's all there is to it. But they ended Mazepin's race. That's
That's a shame now.
yeah.
Through no fault of his own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That is, yeah.
that's
Don't see that
that's
very
a
often.
collector's item.
Yeah, I think probably without that, Kimi could have challenged for 7, 6 maybe.
Yeah.
Well, he finished P11, I think.
Yeah.
Just outside the
Yeah,
point.
11 and then
But Seb's,
went up 1 because
yeah.
of Seb's.
Yeah, Seb. Yeah.
And yeah, okay. So what comes
Yeah,
after that?
not
Ocon
much
won.
there.
No. Okay, so after this is Alonso versus Hamilton. It's towards the end of the race now.
That's towards the end of the race. I mean, we just bring up the like from the rear of the pack. So after that, I guess we have Mick Schumacher.
Yep. Who spun?
Can I just say what a wonderful race from him though.
Yeah.
Had a
Yeah, it's a pretty good fight with Max.
he was defending really well against Max. I think Daniel as well.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Yep.
There's big things in that guy's future, man.
Yeah, really. It's nice to see. I feel bad that Schumacher can't be here. Like Michael Schumacher can't be here, which is it sucks. But it's nice to see Seb is kind of taking on the role as like the mentor.
The mentorship.
Father
yeah.
figure. lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's very nice to see. And yeah, I think Mick Schumacher is once again one of those drivers that are touted as. It seems like every team has a future World Drivers Champion right now. So yeah, he's one of those, and he's a very very talented driver. My brother, actually, this is interesting, completely unrelated to the race. I mean it is a bit related. My brother saw Mick Schumacher spin. I can't remember if it was qualifying or the race itself. Mick Schumacher spun once. I just don't know which session it was. So I looked at it. I was like, oh no, Mick. And then my brother was like, what, you support Haas? I mean, why do you care about Mick Schumacher? Then I said, what do you mean? What do you mean? Why do I care about Mick Schumacher? Then my brother was like, he's not even that good of a driver. And I said, he's literally the best young driver. He was a F2 champion. What are you talking about? And he was like, oh, he didn't know that. I have to educate my brother more. Yes. Sorry, I went off on a tangent, but yeah. So we were talking about Mick. Who's after that?
Moving up, Ricardo.
Ricardo, yeah.
It's just a poor race for McLaren in general.
Yeah,
DNF and
place to forget.
I think I don't know. I think Ricardo had a bit of damage as well because of turn 1.
Yeah.
I think he was carrying damage.
Yeah, he was having some damage, which is why he couldn't really fight for the points position, and he kept on falling back.
Yeah.
I think he was a bit ahead, he was in the points after the restart, but then he just fell back eventually.
Couldn't sustain it that much through the race, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a shame because Ferrari pulled some really good points with Carlos Sainz's podium this time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just such a shame.
I believe Ferrari actually pulled ahead of the standings.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they pulled ahead. I think
It's just it's a very very.
No, wait. Okay, technically they're not really ahead. They're both on equal points. Both
okay.
on 163 at the moment.
Yeah, 163.
Okay.
Oof. Yeah, I mean we
Talk about
were
the fight.
Yeah, we were just saying on the last episode, it just takes one bad weekend for everything to go south. So we'll see what Belgium has in store.
It's just weird because normally when we predict something, it never happens.
Yeah, especially me. The opposite tends to happen. But yeah, let's see. Right now my Ferrari will finish on top of McLaren. That prediction is really holding strong. So I hope it happens. But yeah. So after Ricardo, Raikkonen.
Yep. Well, actually, we missed out Max, kind of. We talked about him briefly in the lap 1 stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have to say, I think he did a pretty good job to get in the points.
Honestly,
with the car.
With half a car is incredible. I don't really, to be honest, I don't really know how he pulled it off, because purely on the drag difference between both sides of the car would have been insanely unstable, and he was still able to open his DRS and make overtakes and stuff. It's incredible, and he'll be a very brave and very very talented driver to do that. So I'll give him credits for that.
And also because of the damage, right? And because Hungary is such a high downforce circuit, it actually costs you a lot of lap time.
Yeah.
And he would understeer a lot from the side where he's getting that damage,
Yeah.
So he did do a pretty good job, honestly, just to get 1 point. And who knows, that 1 point could be very vital come end of the season.
Yeah. And
you never know.
Actually, it's 2 points because
2 points,
because of
after the
Vettel's
Seb incident,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So the 2 points could be pretty valuable, actually.
Yeah. And it has to be said that Red Bull are between Mercedes and Red Bull are more aero focused. They are more downforce focused, and so I think losing half a car is a bigger blow to them than it would be for Mercedes. But but at the end of the day, it's just a fantastic driving performance by Verstappen. And
Absolutely.
Yeah. After that, you guys want to move on?
Yep. Moving up to.
I guess I just wanted to say one thing before we move from Max, because right now Lewis Hamilton's actually leading the World Championship, and Mercedes is leading the World Championship as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys saw, I posted the statistics on our chat. Max led 400 and something laps.
Oh,
yeah.
And Lewis led 100 something, and Lewis actually leading the World Championship right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Max just had a lot of bad luck, especially with the Baku tire blowout.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's no fault of his own, all these races really.
Yeah.
Baku tire blowout. And what else happened? Silverstone
Silverstone
happened.
and this.
And this, yeah, it's all no fault of his own, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just
So,
really unlucky.
Unlucky. Yeah.
Which is why going back to Barcelona, with I think it was Barcelona, the one where Red Bull got the strategy wrong. They didn't pit after
Yeah.
Hamilton. See, so
Yep.
now I think they're feeling the ramifications of that. But I still think they can be quite confident because despite the fact that Max is behind, like Yash said, it's really none of the DNFs was his fault at all. It's all just really unlucky. I mean,
Yeah.
once it was Lewis's fault, once it was Pirelli's fault. I mean, how many times does that happen? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So,
Pirelli still haven't admitted it's their fault, but
yeah, I mean, they're Italians, dude. It's gonna take some time. So yeah, and despite all this happening, he's only 8 points behind Lewis Hamilton, which is, I think, frankly incredible.
Yeah.
I think it's like I said, it's like we have how many 4 weeks now, 3 weeks to the next race. So
Yeah,
2
it's
weeks to be exact.
2 weeks now. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh my, yeah, okay, it's 2. No, it's 3 weeks. It's 27th, right?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's 27th. Yeah, it's 27th.
Yeah,
so
3 weeks.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly
yeah.
3 weeks.
Okay.
So yeah, they have enough time to recuperate. I think Red Bull as a whole, they haven't really done much wrong. So at this point, I just think they have to continue doing what they've been doing, and I think it'll end up fine for them.
Yep. That's true. I hope they don't, but they very easily could lah.
Yeah.
Very
I mean, it's
easily.
going to be a very tight fight, lah.
Yeah, I think it will be.
And there's still more than half the races left. I think we completed 11 races,
Yeah.
and there's still 12 more to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we still have more than half, actually,
Yeah.
to be honest. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. It really is.
I just hope it doesn't come down to a decisive race in Abu Dhabi because we all know that's
Yeah.
not somewhere you want to be racing at.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I heard, this is just off the track, there's some speculation that they might move Abu Dhabi up and Jeddah as the last race this season. I just read this somewhere, lah. It's just some stupid, rumors
Yeah.
going around.
It doesn't make a difference. Like, just wake me up when Abu Dhabi is off the calendar, honestly, or if they design a completely new track. So
Yeah.
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 Okay, so after
So
Verstappen,
moving up from Verstappen, we have one of my favorite results of the day.
yeah,
Williams
Yeah.
Getting double points
Yeah.
because Latifi
Lovely.
and
Latifi
Russell.
and Russell, yeah,
Russell was leading the race for a minute, though, guys.
Oh yeah.
But he jumped the
gave up
pit
positions
lane, lah.
why, because of the
He
pit lane.
jumped the
yeah.
pit,
He jumped
yeah.
the pit lane. He actually got penalized for that, right?
He did. He led the positions back. So half the lap through, right?
okay,
Williams
okay.
told him to give the positions back, and
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah,
So what happened was
five
basically,
places if I'm not wrong.
yeah. So what happened was because at the start, right, they were waiting for Hamilton's red lights to go,
yeah,
and then only the pit lane lights go open.
yeah,
So what Russell did is because Williams is at the end of the pit lane, he
Yeah.
couldn't slide into the pack because the rest of the pack was already there.
yeah. So he just
And he didn't
overtook
want-
everyone.
Yeah, so he just overtook everyone, and when the lights turned green, he just went out as the first guy.
Yeah.
So
The the onboards are actually quite funny to see because he stops for a moment and then he asks his engineer, "What do I do now? Can I overtake them?" And then
Yeah.
it takes a second for the engineer to answer, but Russell
he just overtakes by
Russell wasn't gonna wait for that 1 second. He just overtook, and it's like, I'll deal with the consequences later. Cause he just beat the bullet out, which is fine. I'm surprised.
But
he didn't get a penalty for that.
No, he actually said he's quite grateful that the FI didn't give him a penalty for that. Because I mean, to be honest, that's the way it should be, lah. Like, you see, he knows he made a mistake. He gave back all those positions.
Yeah.
And I think that's good, Like,
Yeah.
he didn't gain any advantage out of it, In fact, he lost the time
Yeah.
because he had to stop.
He did.
Let everyone go back,
Yeah.
to their original position. So, yeah, I think going forward, I think sometimes, you don't have to be that strict that, you break every rule book. Oh, you need to get a, slam dunk penalty.
Yeah.
Like I remember in Baku, I think Lando or someone had this pit stop. Oh, was it Latifi? I can't remember. I think it was Latifi, remember? His engineer was telling him to come in and then something like that happened.
Oh.
Was it Latifi or Lando? I can't remember. It was a red flag because of the Max crash.
Right.
And one of the
Did
drivers
he stayed out on the track?
Yeah, so he stayed out on the track, but
Yeah.
because it was very tight for him
right.
to make it in, and he was very high speed,
Yeah.
So like this kind of small exceptions, I feel FIA should do something about it.
Yeah.
Like instead of giving them a penalty slam dunk every time,
Yeah.
maybe something lenient, or maybe penalize the team instead of penalizing the driver, because it's not really the driver's fault
Yeah.
if such a thing happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's fair.
So yeah, and this is what Williams, like the first time Williams have both cars in the points since
2018.
oh,
Oh, really?
wait,
Yeah, since
they had
Master and
both
Stroll days.
they had both cars in the points in 2018.
Yeah, 2018 Monza to be exact, I think.
What was it?
Really?
Stroll and Shotkin, was it?
Massa.
Oh, Massa. All right.
Wow. Okay. I
Yeah.
I always thought of their 2018 car as being horrendously slow. Or
No, it's
was
I think
it?
from 2019, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm happy for them. George Russell cried during the post-race interview.
Yeah.
Because
Not sure if you
Williams
guys caught it,
points.
but during the race, he actually said that if they had to
Yeah.
sacrifice his race for Latifi's, then they should do it.
Yeah.
That was,
I heard that as well. That seemed
man, that was really nice of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know how much he wants the points, and
Yeah.
for him to say
Latifi
that,
was in the podium, dude. He was P3.
yeah, he was
Yeah.
P3 for a long time
Yeah.
because essentially
Almost
holding
half
up
the race, I
the rest of
think.
the back. The rest of the
Yeah,
pack.
exactly.
It's just very, very wholesome. It's nice to see. I think this is, I mean, I personally, I don't think this is like a coincidence. We all know, I think towards the end of last season, Williams actually got taken over, like financially taken over by some, I don't know which company, but
Some American company. I think.
yeah, they've been injecting capital into it, and I think they are not the worst car anymore, which isn't really saying much, but it's still an improvement. I think I'm waiting to see the days where
Well, I think
Williams are
ahead of
better.
Alpha as well. Now.
Yeah,
Alfa Romeo now
I
in
was
the
actually
standings.
actually quite hesitant to say that because I was wondering if you guys would agree, but I think like I think the Haas is the slowest car, and then I think the what did you say, Alpha Tauri?
Alfa Romeo.
Alpha
Alfa
Romeo.
Romeo.
Yeah, Alpha Romeo's, then it's Williams. So it's nice to see them improving. So double points finish. They were celebrating it like a victory, and more power to them.
Rightly so,
Rightly.
honestly.
Yeah,
They
rightly
deserve
so.
it.
Yeah. Just a very, very wholesome weekend for Williams.
Yep.
Yep, and moving up in front of them, another very positive result. That's AlphaTauri, of course, finishing 5th and 6th with Pierre and Tsunoda.
Yeah.
I'm happy for them. Yeah, I think Yuki,
nothing much to talk about them, to be honest, because I think nothing happened for them really in the race.
Yeah.
They're just
a
on their
very
own.
clean race for them. Pretty
Yeah.
boring. Yeah,
And I think Yuki was ahead of Tsunoda. What am I talking about? Yuki was ahead of Gasly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I think the team ordered Yuki to switch over Gasly, and they actually did.
Yeah.
Because I was watching Ted Kravitz's post-race notebook, and that's what he said.
Hmm.
And then Yuki said he was a bit frustrated because he felt like he could have been faster than Pierre.
Mhm.
But then nothing much. Like it's just sometimes when the team asks you, any driver would feel like they'll have a bit of like anger lah for sure lah.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
So it's understandable. You know how angry Yuki's character is in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only thing I think happened at AlphaTauri. Other than a very solid weekend, good points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, they needed those good points after what an amazing weekend Alpine had, because
Hmm.
we all know Alpine had an amazing weekend this time round. So
Mhm.
and honestly, for the 5th place in the constructors is only between those three: Aston Martin, Alpine, and AlphaTauri. So
Yeah.
good solid points for the Red Bull team, sister team.
Mhm.
Yeah.
BK, any thoughts?
There's really not much to say about AlphaTauri.
Not much, yeah.
Apart from the fact that I'm surprised that Yuki actually finished that high up. Because
Mhm.
he
Is this his highest finish? think
yeah.
Could be maybe.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think it's his highest finish. Yeah. I didn't really expect Yuki to finish that high. To be honest, he hasn't really had. He hasn't been in the greatest of form. I mean, we all know he started well in Bahrain, but it quickly went downhill. He kept spinning. He couldn't control the car sometimes. He blamed the car in the in the was it in the press conference?
In the interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think overcoming all that, finishing sixth is a good weekend for Tsunoda and I think AlphaTauri as a whole. Gasly finished fifth, and I think week in week out that's where AlphaTauri are aiming to put Gasly in anyway. I think finishing fifth is like, maybe they might be hoping for fourth, but I feel like their realistic goal week in week out is for Gasly to get fifth. So once again Gasly is fifth, so there's really no there's really nothing much to talk about. And moving up, then we have a lot of material. You guys want to move on to Alonso?
Yes, moving up.
Yeah.
For sure.
P4 Alonso, obviously we have to
Yeah.
talk about his duel with Lewis.
Yeah. That was
Honestly, I felt so great watching those two racing each other, man.
Yeah. And it's very, very nice to see, because the last time they raced each other, it was full of drama, and it was almost as if Fernando wanted to bring back those old days, because immediately after, during the post race interview, the interviewer actually asked him, Lewis was actually complaining, and then he just cut the interviewer off and he said Lewis always complains, and he just walked away. But apart from the off track antics, I think on track the racing was incredible. Clean racing, clean wheel to wheel racing for 3 entire laps, which is very, very nice to see. Not only did it give us good racing, I'm sure everyone understands that gave Ocon the win. So overall, he's how old is he now? 39, 40?
40.
Yeah, and he is still, I mean, he's still schooling some of the best drivers on track. It's awesome to see. Of course, after 3 laps, Lewis overtook Alonso, but it wasn't enough.
He made a mistake going into turn 1.
Yeah, he locked up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the only reason why as well, which is actually I'm actually curious to see, because I would have liked to see how long Alonso could have actually kept it up, because in those 3 laps it seemed like he could just go on forever. Like
I think he really could have, if not for the lockup, if he didn't make any mistakes, he could have Lewis would have finished 4th.
Yeah, I think he could have carried it to the end, but he didn't. But he got driver of the day, so that's awesome.
Fully deserved.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's it for Alonso. What a drive, of course.
Yeah.
And moving up to the podium,
Yep.
we have Sainz, and it's a bit of a 50-50 kind of day for Ferrari, losing Leclerc in the first lap, but then Sainz gets a podium. And
Right.
Yeah.
I
think that's happened twice now, isn't it? Sainz, Leclerc crashed at
Monaco as well.
Yeah,
not crashed, but like he had an issue, and then Sainz took a podium in Monaco as well.
It's honestly, I can't complain much about Ferrari's weekend, because it wasn't really Ferrari's fault that Leclerc got out. Sainz solid drive just makes me think what could have happened if Leclerc was in. I think I don't really think he would have done anything to Hamilton, because the gap between the Mercedes and the Ferraris on the straights are just too much. So I do think that Leclerc would have given Alonso a good run for his money. Maybe we would have seen some good wheel to wheel racing, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Overall, I think after the first lap tragedy, I think not tragedy, I mean the tragedy in terms of the race, but chaos. I think Ferrari recuperated well. They got the pit stops right this time, so thank God. So I think third, Sainz and Ferrari can be very happy with a third. So there's really nothing to complain about. Had Leclerc stayed on, they would have gotten a bigger lead in the Constructors' Championship.
Constructors.
So apart from that, there's really no grievances. They're still, McLaren and Ferrari are tied. This is a nice little we have a nice race for the third position. It's being set up nicely for the other half of the season, so I can't really complain.
Just further shows that how competitive this whole year is going to be, I think. from top to even the middle, 5th place, there's competition, 3rd place competition,
Right.
and there's even competition for not finishing last. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be quite tight all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But moving on a bit further ahead, of course, we have the front runners, that is Ocon and Vettel.
Yeah.
And Lewis.
And Lewis. But just to talk about the Vettel chase on Ocon, I was really thinking that Seb might catch up at some point.
Yeah.
Because he was just consistently within like the 1 second, half a second kind of gap.
Yeah.
But in the end, it just didn't happen. And I think it was a very, very good drive from Ocon.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
was a really mature drive for sure.
Yeah,
He made zero mistakes.
I think he tuned in to, what was it, 2 episodes back when we were talking about his form after he penned the contract. He realized, I'm not having this slander from a bunch of from 3 university students from Singapore. I will not have it. So he goes on and wins the race. What a guy! Extremely happy for him.
Oh well.
Always nice to see a driver get their first win.
Of course, yeah.
For me, like, I think despite whether Vettel overtook Ocon or not, it was going to be a good race either way. Because even if Vettel won, I wouldn't have complained. But now, in hindsight, I'm glad that Vettel didn't win, because if he won and then had the win taken from him,
even more bittersweet.
that would have been terrible, honestly.
Yeah.
But do you guys wanna? Okay, we'll talk about Ocon winning first, then we'll talk about Vettel's disqualified situation. So I think consistent drive. It's very easy when you find yourself in these positions. Like when you're going on to to get your first win. I had the same feeling with Gasly last year in Monza, where he was leading, and it's such a high pressure situation, because just like how Vettel was 1.5 seconds behind, Sainz was 1.5 seconds behind Gasly in Monza also. So I always wonder in these situations, I'm turn by turn I'm biting my nails, because it just takes like a bit too much pressure on the brakes, and you might lock up, and then you lose your chance to win. So it takes a lot of I think it takes a lot of metal to be composed. And I mean, he brought the car home, so at the end of the day, that's awesome. Like he was so happy with winning, he forgot to pull into the pits. So they couldn't even get like an awesome picture for his first win. He was just running back to the pit lane to celebrate with his team. Yeah, that was nice. Vettel, go on. Any of you want to talk about Ocon?
Yeah, I mean, it's just very wholesome to see him win the race, because he was, I think, 1 or 2 seasons out also, right?
He was one season out.
One season, right? Yeah, he was 1 season out, no drive, then came back in, and he's been pretty solid, to be honest. Like, pretty good midfield driver. I wouldn't say he's a good top field driver, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But he's a very solid midfield driver who'll get you points pretty much. Like, he's like Gasly, very reliable. Mr. Reliable does the job.
Yeah.
And for a team like Alpine, who are transitioning to become, to go to the top, I think that's what's needed. And I think he did pretty well.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm very happy for him, First win is, of course, a memorable one for everyone. And I think it's a very first win for a French driver in a French car since Alain Prost in 1980-something. I can't remember the exact year now.
Wow.
Damn,
So that's just a wild stat for you guys.
Yeah.
So no French driver has won in a French car for all these years until Esteban Ocon.
Was like Gasly was the first French driver to win in like 20-something years, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then in a space of 1 year, we've had 2 French drivers winning races, which is nice. I actually did a small calculation. Well, not a calculation. I actually counted the amount of race winners in these 20, and if I'm not wrong, I counted 11. So more than half of the grid are race winners. Talk among yourselves while I verify this claim.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a true stat. I read it somewhere on Twitter also, I think. It's something similar, more than half. I think the only drivers who have not had a win is Mazepin, Schumacher, Latifi, George Russell, who else? Antonio Giovinazzi.
Yeah. Tsunoda,
Lando Norris. No, wait, Lando has had a podium, not a win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are 11 race winners among the 20.
Yeah.
Which
So
is frankly
impressive.
insane. If I was I'm actually quite tempted to look back at like 2016 grid and see how many race winners there were, because I've never seen so many race winners in one grid before, and that just shows the quality of the drivers in this sport is increasing, which is always nice to see.
Yep.
Always good for racing, and
the pack's also becoming quite close line in general.
yeah. So it's
That
awesome.
anybody can win a race.
Mhm.
Right, and
Yeah.
right in time for the new regulations as well, so it's like a perfect storm. Literally anything can happen next season. That's why I'm waiting. I'm hoping it'll be a banger, but yeah,
Let's see. I mean, this season's already a banger, so I'm not complaining.
yeah, really,
Mhm,
honestly,
that's true.
this season is much better than I ever could have expected.
Yeah.
By the way, we were talking about Gasly. Gasly got the fastest lap as well. I just want to throw it.
Yeah, that was a good strategy from
Yeah,
AlphaTauri.
yeah,
Yeah, they just had, I think, a very long gap to Sonoda at the back, I think.
yeah.
So they're just like, let's just pit him, get fastest lap, extra
Right.
point.
Right. Even after
Yeah.
pitting and getting even after pitting at the race finish, the gap between Gasly and Tsunoda was 12 seconds. So
12 seconds.
yeah, so
Wow.
so yeah, they
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Sonoda's race then, but
yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
What else?
So moving on
Yeah, Vettel, I
to
guess.
Vettel,
Yeah,
the qualification.
yeah,
Okay, I think the sad thing is that it is a fair
yeah,
DQ. You cannot
Yeah.
complain about it.
yeah,
And I mean, Aston Martin have launched a protest, and they have, I think, 2 weeks, is it, to
Yeah,
prove that there
yeah.
was 1 liter left?
yeah. But how I don't understand how, if there was 1 liter left, they would have drained 1 liter. I don't get it. They could only drain 330. It's not like 1 liter and they could drain 950 ml. That's a 700 ml difference. Like, where did they go? My guy couldn't even drive back to the pit lane. They had to stop. So I don't know. First of all, I don't really like they're not like a inexperienced team. I mean, they were Racing Point before this, Force India
Been around
before
for
that.
years.
Yeah, they've been around
Yeah.
for years. So how do they mismanage the fuel management so much? That's why I couldn't.
If I'm not wrong, what they tried to do was probably give Seb a bit more power to try and overtake
Right.
Ocon. It's just a guess. I'm not sure how credible what I'm saying is but I'm guessing that they probably increase the fuel flow to the engine
Yeah.
to give him the extra boost of power,
Yeah.
and that probably led them to consuming more fuel than they expected him to be and I think they just really wanted the win which is understandable
Yeah.
completely
Yeah.
Mhm.
for Aston Martin.
Yeah.
But just unfortunate. I mean, to me, right, I feel I get why there's such rules, and if there's such rules, there's disqualification and stuff. But I feel disqualification is a very harsh rule,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't know, man. You can't really blame Seb for mismanaging. I mean, it's both ways. Team should have won him,
Yeah.
and if the team did not want him, you can't really, blame Seb for not knowing if
Mhm.
the car had enough fuel or not.
Right.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
you
And
know?
if I'm not wrong, I don't think drivers can see how much fuel there's left or anything.
Yeah.
Especially not
Yeah.
down to
I
Right.
don't
1
think
liter left,
so.
2 liters left.
Right.
Exactly. This amount of data is only available to the engineers and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong, was there another driver who stopped on the track apart from Ocon, before Ocon
I
and Seb?
think
George.
both the Williams, I think.
Yeah, and I heard. I don't know if I'm
It
not
was
wrong.
definitely George stopped on the
Oh,
track.
okay. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
so if I'm not wrong, right, what Williams did, I think Williams were concerned about this very thing, and it made George stop a lot sooner than compared to Seb. Seb, I think, went almost half a lap before he stopped, if
Okay.
you realize that. Yeah.
Mm.
So, I mean, I feel just a disqualification is a harsh penalty.
Yeah.
Maybe strike him off, maybe a few places, or give him a time penalty.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mhm.
But a disqualification is just harsh, man. Yeah.
But I think
Especially to go from 18 points to 0 points, and this.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I think the reason why they have to disqualify is the fact that they need a liter of fuel to do testing to make sure that it's proper legal race fuel instead of any
Yeah, but they can do that with 0.3 liters also, to be honest. It's
I
just that
don't
they
know.
put in a rule book,
they-
it's 1 liter.
oh, is it?
Yeah, I watched this video afterwards. Some technical director saying
Okay.
that by right they can. Sorry.
If they can still carry on with the testing,
Yeah.
then I don't really think there should be a problem. But at the end of the day, that's sport, right? That's any sport. You have rules to follow. There's like miles and miles of red tape, so you have to follow it. And if you don't follow it, you have to. They'll make an example out of you. I mean, it has to happen. If Vettel didn't get disqualified last race, next race someone's gonna try and attempt the same thing. So yeah. At least that's my opinion on it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I mean, regardless of whether the rules actually are fair or not, I think those are the rules, and they were pretty consistent with how it was applied. So
Right.
to that extent, I think it was the right call to make. It just sucks that it was the right call to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that sums up the race weekend.
I think we're just left to talk about one person, which is Lewis Hamilton.
Right.
We missed him completely.
I mean, we did talk about his fight with Alonso.
Yeah, but like, I mean, it's a good fight back for Lewis, I guess.
Yeah.
From the back of the grid to come in and get
dropped to
podium.
14th after the pit stop.
Yeah.
And after that, it was it was very entertaining to watch.
Yeah, and he was very tired in the podium. I don't know if you guys saw it.
I saw that. He was
so exhausted.
He couldn't even celebrate properly. He was very, very tired. And you know what?
He was suffering from the effects of COVID, like some long-term something like that.
Long COVID. We call it long COVID. So it's like long-term effects of COVID.
What? Damn.
Yeah, there's such a thing. Like, I didn't know. I've never heard of it also. Like, I heard it the first time at the weekend.
Dude, if if an athlete in peak physical form can suffer like that, I mean, that's insane.
I don't know. There was another article or something that I read that said his water bottle got disconnected. And he was kind of dehydrated after race, which seems
which is
more
probably why he had more. Yeah, he felt it more because he couldn't hydrate himself.
Right.
Yeah. He looked very dehydration.
He looked in terrible shape, to be honest. That aside, since whatever Lewis Hamilton is doing gets put under the microscope these days, do you think he was right to complain about that little Alonso cut in before the corner? Do you guys think he had any right to complain?
In the heat of the moment, every driver says that, you know.
Yeah.
And
okay, but
fact,
the incident itself, do you think Alonso was fair or not? Because I'm just curious because
I think it's fair. It was quite hard racing. It was fair.
Yeah. Because
I mean, he didn't move when he was alongside. You know, he moved when he knew that Lewis was already behind.
Right.
So I think it's fair, to be honest.
Because deep in the trenches of Formula One TikTok, I saw some comments. But I have to say this: F1 TikTok loves to hate on Hamilton, but. But really, I had to dig deep. But after digging deep enough, I found some Alonso versus Hamilton comments and debates that had to pull incidents all the way from back in 2007 when they first raced together. It was really quite amusing to see. But I was really wondering, like, is anyone else really thinking about this? Like whether Alonso is at fault or Hamilton is at fault? Yeah. At the end
in the grand scheme of things, it didn't matter much, apart from maybe costing Lewis like one place, I guess.
Right.
I mean, to be honest, you look at it. In fact, in the following day, Lewis actually posted that tweet from F1, like that post by F1 of his battle with Alonso, saying that clean hard racing and something like that with a caption. I remember seeing it. So I mean, Lewis has no issues with it. I don't know why the public should have any issues with it, to be honest. Sometimes in the heat of the moment when you're driving, it just comes out.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And I saw those comments and the debates, and I went back. I looked at the onboards, and Fernando changes his line about 10 years before the braking zone. So I have no idea what they were fighting about. It's completely fair, and I just want to say, if you're one of those people who was trying to make this a big deal, I don't know what you're doing. So
I mean, I'm gonna put my hands up and say that was very good racing. That was clean racing.
Yeah.
That was fair racing.
Yeah. Is that all? We
Yeah,
still
I guess we
have
can move
I
on.
think so.
we have predictions for next race, Belgium.
Yep. The Belgian GP, which is 27 to 29 August, 3 more weeks.
Right.
Well, maybe BK, I'll go first.
Okay.
Who's our pole and who's our winner?
Right. Spa, if I'm not wrong, I don't know if it still is, but Spa is the fastest track in the grid. In the calendar, correct?
No, it's Monza.
That's
Oh yeah,
Monza.
Monza is the fastest. Oh,
Spa has the furthest.
But
flat
Spa
out.
is the longest.
Spa is the
7.2
longest.
kilometers.
Right, right. But it is a track that relies heavily on top speed. So I think
Yeah.
I'm going to favor Mercedes for this race. I'm going to say Lewis will take pole and Lewis will win, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I would say Lewis. I think Lewis will still take pole on Saturday, I think.
Right.
But I think Sunday, I feel Max could win. Yeah. And just for a bold prediction, I'm going to go with Pierre Gasly P3.
Oh.
I don't know why, I just felt like saying it. Gasly P3.
Okay.
Because, Gasly has a lot of history with Spa, especially losing Hubert over there,
Yeah.
So it'd be nice if Gasly gets a podium there.
Right. And to be honest, you can't expect much from the Ferraris as well due to Spa being such
straight
a
line. Yeah.
such
It
a
doesn't
speed
really
heavy circuit.
favor
Right.
their car.
Actually, I completely forgot. In fact, McLaren could be pretty well this weekend as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So
Yeah.
all the not all, but the Mercedes powered teams.
Everyone apart from Ferrari, let's just put it that way.
The
Because
Mercedes.
even Honda has a very good engine.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think we can expect a lot from McLaren and Mercedes. Red Bull due to the Honda engine, and I think I wouldn't say 6 cars because Ricardo is still struggling, but these 3 teams I think they'll be in the running for some very good results. Ferrari I don't really see unless Leclerc does something insane. He has the ability to make the car seem a lot faster than it is. I think even Leclerc maybe the most he'll finish is like 4th, I think. Apart from that, I don't really expect much from Ferrari. Not for the next race.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry, you guys were talking about Hubert, right? There was actually, I'm going off topic. Wait, have you guys given your predictions yet? No, right?
I didn't give my prediction yet.
Okay, give first.
I'm gonna follow BK and say Lewis on pole and win.
Right.
I think there's gonna be some fireworks.
Oh.
Some big incidents.
Right.
Because obviously we don't want to see that Spa, but I think there will be.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it could be actually.
And a bit of a bold prediction: Lando to finish P3.
Oh. Okay, so
nice.
I can see Lando P3 happening. It's possible. Yash, you said Hamilton will win, is it?
Yeah, no, I said Max would still win,
Okay.
but Hamilton will get pole on Saturday.
Right. Okay. With
Yeah.
Gasly on P3.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So anyway, Tarun, you were saying you think we'll see some fireworks. If I think like it was about a week ago there was some stock car racing.
Yeah, it was Spa 24 hours.
Yeah.
I was actually watching that, I was watching it live. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the crash. The
Yeah,
Old
so-
Rouge crash.
Yeah, so what happened was basically Jack Aitken,
Yeah.
he was in the Lamborghini and
Yeah.
he lost it at Air Rouge lah.
Yeah.
And he spun out wide, and one of the, I can't remember which one, but I think there's a Ferrari coming in.
Yeah.
The Ferraris T-boned him straight at the front,
Yeah.
and then he spun, and then a Porsche also T-boned him at the back,
Dude,
and
it
then
was-
and one of his teammates also T-boned him. He got
Dude.
T-boned like 2 or 3 times.
Dude, there was nothing remaining of that Lamborghini.
Yeah.
It was
The engine, right? The
Yeah.
engine of that Lambo which he was in, it actually flew onto the tire barrier.
dude, that's some that's
Yeah.
some 1955 that's some 1955 Le Mans shit, bro. Holy shit.
It was insane. And you see, the thing is, right, I was watching that thing live, okay?
Yeah.
I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
Because I just knew there was a safe, in GT3 racing, right, they call it a full course yellow. So it's like your virtual safety car, everyone goes to like 80 kilometers, 60 kilometers per hour straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a pit limiter engaged lah.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what was going on. So I was just watching it. I thought maybe someone just went off the track, they're clearing it up. And they didn't show any TV images, nothing, at all
Mm-hmm.
during the broadcast. And then I was just through Twitter, just saying what happened. And holy shit, there's 3-4 cars all lying around everywhere.
Yeah.
And nobody, like the broadcasters didn't even show a single image of it.
Yeah.
Which is honestly great lah, honestly, to be honest.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing. But to me as a viewer, right, even the commentators didn't know what was happening because they rely on the image which we are basically getting,
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it was scary lah, because honestly I didn't realize how huge that crash was
Yeah.
until I saw some images on social media about it
I saw
from people on track.
I saw the video that was taken by the fans at
Yeah.
the top of Oruj. It's crazy. I mean, just to put it out there, Oruj is my favorite corner in the calendar.
Mhm.
I have no idea how it's still legal, because everyone is at least in Formula One, the cars are flat. They're flat out. They're going
Yeah.
up a hill that's 6 stories high. They can't see anything at the top of the hill. So, if the crash is anything like, if you take a look at the crash that happened, was it last week? That this crash
Yeah, it was
happened?
last weekend.
Last week.
So, if you take a look at that, Jack Aitken has already crashed. Okay, everyone coming up Oruj is still flat. They're flat out.
Yeah.
They're driving through the wreckage flat. I have no idea how it's legal. That's actually, I mean, that's one of the reasons why Hubert lost his life, because Juan Manuel Correa couldn't see his wreckage up ahead, so he was still flat as he went up.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very surprised that the corner is still legal. It's a very, very nice corner, but it has the capacity to be
I
completely
think
dangerous.
what happened, right? One of the drivers who was involved in that incident
Yeah.
from Porsche was Kevin Estre. I don't know if you guys know him. He
Uh-huh.
actually tweeted saying that what would help in average is actually having gravel trap on the left-hand side.
Right.
So you see on the left-hand side, there's such a big runoff, right?
Yeah.
And because there's such a big runoff, the drivers risk going flat out, and you can take it flat out in GT3 cars as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Yeah.
risk taking it flat out because they know if they make a mistake, they can just go wide and rejoin the track flat out.
Right.
So if you maybe install a gravel, more cautious, and you take a bit of speed off them,
Yeah.
and in case if they make a mistake, that gravel track will trap them from coming onto the track maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm.
that's what happened to Aitken, if you realize. He went off track a bit and he had a moment and it pushed him to the track,
Right.
middle of the track.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, it's motor racing. Like, there's going to be some corners which are quite dangerous.
Yeah,
lah,
dude.
and
That's true.
Oruj is insane.
yeah.
Well, it's still my favorite corner. It's an amazing corner. But yeah.
But honestly, I was actually very surprised. Jack Aitken only suffered a collarbone injury. Like, he fractured his collarbone.
Yeah.
And he fractured his vertebrae as well. I think that's his spine, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's fine.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's about it. That's the only
Yeah.
injuries he gets.
It's,
Which
yeah,
it's
compared
insane.
to like when I looked at the wreckage, if you told me that he just had a collarbone
Yeah.
accident, like a small spinal fracture.
I probably thought in that incident he probably lost his legs or something, man.
Dude, yeah,
Genuinely.
it was too
was
too
insane.
crazy, honestly. And yeah, the speed is crazy. Honestly, I'm glad he's fine. And
Yeah, I really am.
looking forward to the Belgian GP, my favorite track. Let's see what happens.
So moving on to our final segments. L of the week.
Oh, L of
Or
the week.
rather L of the last 2
Aston
weeks, I
Martin.
guess.
Bottas. I
Gave
think
away 18 points.
Bottas first.
Bottas for me. Yeah.
Bottas first, then we can put Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Bottas and Aston Martin. Dove of the week.
Ocon.
Yeah, Alpine. That's
problem.
all.
Yeah.
You only have one dub of the week.
Yeah.
I guess that. Honorable mention to Jack Aitken for
Oh, and Williams also dub of the week.
being okay with that, and yes, Williams. I think
Right,
that's not
yeah.
for him. Yeah, I think that's about it. So, it's been I think slightly over an hour.
Right.
Thank you guys for listening. If you actually made it this far, we really enjoy bringing you guys this content, and we'll be coming back to you after the Belgian GP. So until then, ciao guys.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Links in the description.
Bye.
Bye bye.